What battle?
What battle? That was the first thing they heard today.
What battle?
Are you guys ready to start the show?
About as ready as I'll ever be.
All right.
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta do some scrolling. Here we are. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Danny K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. How you doing, Green?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm doing pretty fantastically. It's a sexy ass mug there.
You like that mug? I had to turn the light off just so you could see what the hell the mug was.
That is a
Is that
sexy
the new one? I have the old one, not the new one.
I happen to have the old one right here.
So what we need to do is we need to get an actual like water, like a pressure cannon thing that can cut things perfectly in half, split our mugs and stick them together, which makes zero sense when you take into account it's only on one side.
By the powers combined.
I mean, I guess it could go like straight down the middle here, and I could have next to a pod for gamers. Oh, and then have whatever the new one is on the other side, or the old one. I'm with it.
So I really feel like I don't need to introduce you now. But guys, it's the powerful, it's the beautiful Rev's Fen. How you doing, Rev?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. I had some good barbecue earlier, and I'm ready to do this podcast and talk about things and stuff.
Damn, you're making me jealous over there. With us this week, our very special guest. It's RoguePinata, formerly known as Viva Pinata. Rogue, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. Ready to raise the salt levels because, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a salty one, boys.
I'm sorry. You mispronounced rouge.
Rouge?
Okay. All right. Let's get it out of the way now. All right. I misspelled my name, and I got to stick with Rouge Pinata for 60 days because Twitch does not allow to change your name. So Rouge Pinata was my name for 60 days, and everyone.
I liked it.
It was adorable.
So,
I legitimately enjoyed it.
anyway, so that's what happened.
Are you guys familiar with the YouTube channel The Modern Rogue?
No.
I believe you've told me about them actually.
Yeah, so it's a YouTube channel where they just do stupid shit. Like, let's make some mead, which is how I got my recipe for my mead here, or let's make alcohol rockets, or let's try all these let's try to make these prison weapons and all this other stupid shit. In all their ad spots, they're like, use code ROGUE, RUGUE, not Rouge, every single time. You got to spell it correctly.
One letter, man. Call me for the rest of my life.
You'll never live it down.
No, it's there forever now.
It's there forever now. So last week, guys, we had said we were going to be doing a giveaway, right? You guys remember this? Which was the giveaway was, hey, tell us about someone who deserves a free game this year in the comments of the YouTube video. Not enough people entered on YouTube, so whoever did leave a comment, guess what, guys? You get a free game.
What? Look at you go.
Look at you guys go. You guys took the initiative, made your comments, right? You guys made your comments, and you won some free games. Let me find it real quick. Yeah, so we're not even gonna do a drawing for the people who commented, because that's how benevolent of an overlord I'm feeling like today. So congratulations. Hold on, let me pull them up real quick. Pull up the comments if YouTube would load properly for me. Come on. Holy cow, am I stupid? I might be stupid. Guys, I might be a silly goose. So winners are, congratulations to, can I get a really long drum roll real quick? There we go. Drew Cheung, who suggested his friend Dadeguard98. So congratulations, you won a game for him. And our friend Elliot Hildebrand also suggested his friend Brody, and he says Brody hasn't stopped working since the original lockdown in the spring.
Whoa.
And it definitely sounds like Brody needs something to sit down and relax to. So
Hell yeah, Brody.
Yeah, shout out to Brody for keeping this
Go,
world
Brody.
going.
Go Brody.
So we still have games to give away though, and we're gonna do that through a we're just gonna do it through a code word giveaway. And what should our code word be? Pinata, you're our guest. I'm gonna make you do a little bit of work today because you also did our question of the week. What's that?
Muffin.
Muffin.
Muffin button.
Muffin.
Muffin button. Actually, no, muffin button.
Muffin button. Okay.
Yes.
All right,
like
hold
it.
on. Let me
like
get a
it.
keyword picked out here. I have to move all sorts of shit. Muffin button, spelled exactly like this. Actually, we'll do an exclamation mark at the beginning. So if you guys want a game for you and a friend, use the keyword muffin button in the Twitch chat right there in the chat.
Yeah.
And
Do you know the Muffin Man?
And we will roll our winner at the end of the show through Nightbot there. Like I said, like I mentioned before, we do have a question of the week this week, and that is, what announcement got you excited from the Video Game Awards? Which we will be talking about later in the show. What excitement got you excited from the Video Game Awards? Guys, go on ahead and answer that in the Twitch chat right now. You can tweet at us at any point over the week, or just comment down below in the YouTube video. And the last little bit of things that we need to wrap up is, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening to us. We appreciate your guys' attention. Hopefully, you guys are rewarded with some good information and entertainment. And I honestly think this week is going to be very entertaining.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, guys, any other housekeeping that I need to get out of the way for the week? We all good? All right, so I'm gonna get right into a review of a game that I had suggested to me by Scott. Bless you.
Sorry.
By Scott over at Budget Arcade, and that's called Summerland. I also did put out a video of Summerland, of my playthrough of Summerland, so you guys can check that out on YouTube if you guys haven't already subscribed to me yet. I highly suggest you do so, and that way you'll never miss an episode. But Summerland is a free-to-play first-person walking simulator by Fire Games and Connor Rush. It was released on December 1st. It's currently available on Steam and itch.io. The minimum specs for the game are Windows 7, a processor with SSE2 instruction set support, 4 gigabytes of RAM, a graphics card with DirectX 10, and 7 gigs of space on your hard drive. So, potatoes. Potatoes.
We've been on a potato fest these last couple of weeks. Like, we've just been like throwing out these potato games, man. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Let's do this. You know,
I just want a game that actually says potato. That's the process.
Right. So the game focuses on narrative and not really gameplay so much. Like I said, this is very much a walking simulator. And I don't mean that as like a pejorative. It just is what it is. The game focuses on a character named Matthew, who is sent to kind of a purgatory-esque afterlife to relive the events leading up to his death, and to determine if he is a good or bad person. The basic gameplay is that you walk through like these set pieces, and kind of go on like these little mini scavenger hunts. The narrator right away tells you that you're going to be reliving these events exactly how they happened. So you have no real player agency or choice. There's a little bit, and I'll talk about that. but you don't really have any player agency or choice in the game. You're just going through the set pieces and going through the story as it is. And like right here, as you guys can see on the screen, it's like you're going through in like the first level is like you finding pieces of evidence at this crime scene. For the most part, the level, it's not hard, it's not difficult, there's not like any skill based things that you need to do. Although I will say some of the items are maybe a little too difficult to find. It took me 2 hours to record my playthrough. I got the video down to 1 minute 10 seconds in that, or not 1 minute 10 seconds, I'm sorry, 1 hour 10 minutes.
Fastest speed run of the game.
Right. Fastest speed run. I opened it and then I closed it.
That good.
But it sometimes it was just like, okay, why can't I find this like little thing? Or it wouldn't like let you interact with something until you interacted with something else first. So there was like a lot of stuff that I like cut down and condensed to make it basically watchable. The game puts a lot of emphasis on what makes a good or bad person or a good or bad action, especially within the context of the situations presented by the story. It even asks you about like moral philosophies from specifically Jeremy Bentham and Immanuel Kant, which anyone who's taken a entry-level ethics course in college is probably familiar with the two of those two. Very much early Enlightenment thinkers along the lines of Hobbes and Locke. So yeah, and it even presents you with some questions, like, do you agree with Bentham's view on what makes a good or bad person, or do you agree with Immanuel Kant? Do you believe people should be held to their consequences even though if they don't know what the consequences of their actions are going to be? How could you possibly foresee these bad things happening? Stuff like that. As we said, the game kind of runs on potatoes. Performance wise, the game runs about as you would expect, although I will say there was a really weird moment right at the beginning where performance takes a hit. I'm not sure why. I actually tried twice just to see if it would happen, and it happened at the exact same time. In terms of the game's graphics, they're suitable. Everything is aesthetically consistent, looks good, shading is done well, color palettes are good. Not like a ton to write home about. But I will say, like, it's competently put together. It's not like you're seeing just like a bunch of free assets thrown willy-nilly with like weird art styles mishmashed together like it's some surrealist art piece. Everything is consistent together, which is nice. Being a narrative focused game, one of the highlights of it is going to be the voice acting, which is pretty good. I will say and it's not necessarily the voice acting itself, but the writing itself for dialogue isn't particularly standout. I remember a couple different times thinking to myself, people don't talk like that. Especially for the main character. My overall impressions of the game, it's not a game style that I usually tend towards. It's not a game style that's ever particularly impressed me, but I understand its appeal. I understand that people like it. It's more to me like an interactive movie than a game. As a piece of software, it works. There aren't any glaring bugs. There was nothing that prevented me from accessing the content, which always good. It's certainly worth a try, especially if you're interested in an experience that is almost entirely narratively driven. The mostly relatable story that is being told is solid enough to carry the weight of a heavy philosophical discussion. Especially like the what makes a good or bad person discussion. And like I said, dialogue could use a little bit of polishing, but overall not a bad experience, especially for being free. The developer does have a like a tipping system, like you could donate like via PayPal, which if you enjoy it enough, for sure, going ahead and tip the developer and support the developer like that. But yeah, I mean that's my overall impression of Summerland. Thoughts, questions?
So when you say it's a walking simulator, would you compare it to say maybe like Layers of Fear, where it's like there are some things you can do differently, but ultimately speaking, it's like there's no you hit a certain point, you die or something, you have to go back. It's like literally just like almost like not you don't want to say like linear, but there isn't a whole lot of like out of the way stuff to do. Is that
I would say it's linear. It's
very linear.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to find or you have to do certain things in order to progress. It's almost like Gone Home.
Oh, I like that game too.
Yeah.
That was a good one for a narrative driven walking simulator.
Yeah, I mean it's not there's no fail state, right? This is a big thing when these kind of games first started kind of hitting the scene. I remember Total Biscuit got a lot of shit from these kind of developers because he didn't call them games. He just called them walking simulators, and he's like, a game has to have a failsafe, or not a failsafe, a fail state. Right? The ending is ambiguous, purposely ambiguous. It's open to your interpretation. There is no like replayability with the game because you go through the actions, or the scenes are going to be exactly the same. There's no choices to make. There's no dialogue options. Right? You don't go and like talk to this character and get like a menu of options to choose. It is what it is. Like I said, it's like an interactive movie.
That does differentiate it from Layers of Fear a little bit, because they do have, I think, like 3 different endings based on just like a couple of small little things you do differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
I played a lot of walking simulators, and I get the idea of like it's not a game. It's more like a experience in a way. But there are some walking simulators where you do have to do more, like Layers of Fear, and I have actually was the Edith Finch.
What Remains of Edith Finch? Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's another one. But there's choices, so
yeah, it's literally almost like an interactive graphic novel type thing, just with it being more in depth and actually like interactive, like because those like even like you said, like those at least have like choices to be made that can alter outcomes and stuff like that. I guess I could get the point if it's one of those games where no matter what you do, it doesn't alter the outcome. I guess I kind of see the argument there, because at least with the other ones where you do have the choices, you do have replayability and you do get different outcomes as opposed to just doing the exact same thing. So it's like a one-time playthrough, which would not, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things I could probably see both sides. Yeah, I can see people probably saying, well, no, it's still a video game, because in essence, you are in control of your movements and everything. Like you are controlling a character in a deal. But I don't know. That seems like that could be a discussion topic for like an entire deal, like a philosophical thing on video games and whether or not they're actually games.
Yeah, I remember very specifically back in like 2015, 2016, Total Biscuit getting into a lot of shit with developers of I think it was like the developers of Gone Home and like Dear Esther who went after him because he said it's not a video game. Like he just flat out, he's like, to me, Total Biscuit said that a game has to have a fail state, right? You have to be able to fail. There has to be some sort of challenge presented that you can fail. And that's
and by his argument, Layers of Fear wouldn't be, because Layers of Fear 1 didn't have that. Like Layers of Fear didn't have that fail state. I mean, granted, you could do certain things different. I mean, if you wanted to consider the end game, if you didn't get the good ending, the fail state, you could conceivably call it that. But in essence, it's like I think a video game is just anything where you can control a character to do things for you. With a story, like an interactive, like if movies became interactive in that same essence, I would consider it's like VMFs, or isn't that what they're called? Like or FMVs. FMVs, yeah. Like what was the Late Shift, I think was the name of it, where it was literally like a movie but interactive.
not for broadcast, or
Yeah, things like that. It's like, now granted, not for broadcast does have a fail state. If you drop your ratings so low, then you lose. But like with late shift, there's not really a fail state. You just alter the outcome of the game. But it's not on Netflix, it's on Xbox Game Pass. But on the flip side of that, I mean, to kind of play devil's advocate, the Bandersnatch, what is a Black Mirror Bandersnatch, was on Netflix. So I guess I think it's subjective, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's very subjective.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I didn't mean to kind of get us on that particular topic. I think the game itself, like I said, I'll call it a game. I think that's kind of a moot point for, is this something that you should spend your time on? If you like those narratively focused things, yeah. They generally, unless they're horror based, they generally don't appeal to me that much. So, I mean, take my perspective on it with a grain of salt. But it's worth checking out. It's on itch.io. It's on Steam for free. It runs on a lot of different hardware.
Potatoes.
And I mean, if you really don't want to play it, but you're interested in at least knowing what the story is, you can check my YouTube video out. That's always an option. Plug.
The cheapest of plugs. The cheapest of plugs.
So yeah. Green, any thoughts that you wanted to share on this?
Not that I can think of. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you walk and you interact. It's like a dumbed down version of Skyrim.
You're really trying to piss off the Skyrim fans, huh?
I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. But yeah, no, I don't really have anything to add. Right? You were pretty informative, sir.
Oh, I try to be. Next, Padre.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. Your name's Padre.
All right, there we go.
Game Pass Mobile. Tell us about it.
Game Pass Mobile. Okay. So I tested out a few games. Let me take this out. Stop chewing on stuff that impedes my speech. So I tried a few things out on Xbox Game Pass Mobile tonight, or not tonight, earlier today, because I wanted to kind of keep it fresh in my mind. And as an Xbox fanboy, like, I mean, not Xbox as the console, but Xbox as a company, I've kind of become a fanboy because of Game Pass and some of the things they're trying to do. I will say, at the moment, I was kind of let down. There are a few different reasons, though. I'm going to play devil's advocate on some. I was having issues with, more than anything, screen loading. Whenever like environmental loading, like the physics of the environments would be there in these games, but you wouldn't be able to physically see them because like something happened in the transition, like the Wi-Fi signal dropped or something, and it would cause everything to lag behind. And so like the physics for it would be there, but it would look like I was jumping off into an abyss when there was a platform or something. It was kind of weird. Now that being said, my internet's 100 megabit download and about 30 upload, which should be more than enough to handle that. But I don't know, maybe there's something, maybe it's my router. I don't know, maybe my router caused dropping issues. It's hard to tell. It's it could be that, because every time those things happened, it would show in the corner the little Wi-Fi symbol actually dropping. So it could have been that. But there's something that kind of somewhat irks me about. I don't understand why some of the games that are on there that are small, like, because there's a remote feature on it that's really cool, where it's like if you see a game on Game Pass, you want to install it on your Xbox console, you can literally just hit install. It tells you how big the file is, and it'll start installing it on your Xbox. On these ones that are like small files, like Celeste is like 1 gig. Like, why can't I just go ahead and install that on my phone and play it through that same app and eliminate those features of the environment not loading? I don't know. I was able to use my son's Switch controller to do it, just a standard USB-C to USB-C, plug it into a controller and go. And the response time and everything for the games I played were really good. That part was smooth. I tried out Celeste, was the first game, because I was like, this is a high precision platformer that requires, impeccable timing and precision. And I was able to go through the levels until I started seeing those Wi-Fi signals drop. And another thing is, I think I noticed that you only get like a monthly allowance essentially in how much you can stream, because every now and then I'd see this deal pop up over in the corner to say how much I've used today versus how much I have for the month. So I guess maybe there is a limit on how much cloud gaming you can do, which a lot of cloud gaming, I think almost every cloud gaming service has that, Nvidia, GeForce Now, Stadia, and all that. And so that wasn't really as much of an issue because it was like 1.28 gigs or something, which you're not going to get that much streaming, indie games on your phone. But I was kind of let down in the loading thing, because I mean it's a mobile thing, so you're going to be playing this on your phones anyway. So I would hope that there'd be some kind of optimization for that to allow those levels to load faster. I didn't get that, but it is also still in beta, so maybe it's something they can work on. I know we were talking before the podcast, and Pinata over here was telling me that he tried it out in alpha and was running into essentially the same, like almost the exact same things, like the same good response times on everything, but the same bad loading qualities and whatnot. And I tried another game. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, but it was like a little 16-bit, like it looked like something you would play on Sega Genesis, and I was having the same loading issues on that as I was on the other. So I don't know if that's something that they're working on, or if it's like I said, something with my router just not, putting off the signal at a good enough rate to be able to play those. But it shouldn't be the case. But aside from that, everything else was smooth. You get some good games on there. They load, like the games themselves load really fast. There's not like a really long load time or wait time for them. Aside from that one issue, everything else was a nice experience. I'm really hoping to get that worked out, because I think this could be a lot of fun, especially for like, indie gamers like myself who don't have a Nintendo Switch. You're out at a convention or something. You can plug your phone in and play it back at your hotel or something like that. But I don't know, that problem needs to be fixed. Either way.
Yeah, my experience with it was I think I did a couple things. So two, obviously I didn't think that doing indie games and stuff would have really shown the performance of the service. So what I did is I ended up playing Devil May Cry and Madden through it. And here's the the weird part is Devil May Cry ran really well. There was some hiccups as far as, and here's the thing that I noticed with the service is that the input is never the problem. It's always the visual quality of the actual video that's being displayed to you. It's like they are purposely, they will care more about the input than the actual quality of the video, than having the quality of video stay the same and then the input get affected. Which personally, I think that's the right way to do it, because I think Stadia is the opposite, where they'll keep the quality as good as possible, but the input starts getting affected. And then Madden was the exact opposite. Ran so many issues, and input was the biggest one. And obviously, a game like that, where you need to, do maneuvers and stuff in a drop of a dime, didn't work as well. I do like the convenience of the service. Like, you just turn it on, get the controller, boom, that's it. But I think at the time I was, because again I did test out Nvidia at the time, and I also did Stadia, and I would say out of the three, I would say Xbox. Well, I guess at the time they called it Cloud
X.
Yeah, Cloud X at the time. I would say they still have the best service of the three. But then again, I haven't touched the Nvidia service since then. So
see, I've tried the Nvidia GeForce Now service back in March, I believe, whenever it was the weekend of DreamHack Anaheim, which was either late February or early March, and I hardwired my little crappy laptop into the Airbnb's internet, and it ran like a beast. Like it was really, really good. I don't know how far back you tested it, but from when I've tested everything, yeah, Nvidia definitely holds the top spot right now for me in the cloud gaming services that I've tried. I haven't tried Stadia, but I don't think I actually need to know that it's not good, considering how much everybody has had negatively to say about it. But yeah, with Nvidia, it actually ran really well. I ran Dauntless on ultra settings on my little laptop and ran into like 0 issues the whole thing. So it was really cool. But yeah, I would say the same about the Xbox Cloud X. It's like the quality can be sacrificed in certain instances, but when you're playing like platformers and stuff that require you like latch onto edges, you can't have those ledges like fail to load. So hopefully that's something that gets fixed. But that's my only complaint on it. Everything else was nice. The game selection's good, especially for somebody who likes indie games. They even added Tell Me Why, the one that's like, in my opinion, the unofficial Life is Strange 3. I saw it was on there. Hellblade is on there. Kind of wanted to try that, see if it got like much worse or not. But I'll try those out and report back next week because those are a lot more in-depth games. So maybe it'll be worth doing.
It's funny. As you're talking, I actually re-downloaded the app, and they actually changed the layout quite a bit. It's actually a lot better.
Oh,
from
the
what I-
interface on it is
really good.
fantastic. Yeah, the interface is super good. Like it has a very good UI. It's amazing. That's what I'm saying. Like that one loading, like environmental loading issue is the only negative I've had so far out of it. Everything else has been really pleasant, really smooth. The UI is good. I recommend checking out. I mean, if nothing else, just download it and check out the UI.
But they have a play with touch option too. What? Sorry.
No, you're good. Well,
you can actually use a touchscreen to play the game. That's cool. Sorry.
So real quick, I just gotta ask Green, what the fuck were you doing like 30 seconds ago?
He's singing Tell Me Why.
I was holding back really badly.
As soon as I saw him do it, I knew exactly what he was doing. I was like,
Green, do you have any thoughts, questions, opinions you want to get out there?
Nope. I'm not really an Xbox kind of guy. But if I'm doing something with my mobile phone for gaming, it's more than likely going to be GeForce Now. So, I mean, how does that how would you say that competes with GeForce Now?
It's pretty
knowing
neck
that
and
you've
neck,
used
honestly.
both.
Personally, but then again, I haven't touched it. Obviously, Rev.
Yeah, I would say it competes really well with GeForce Now on a performance scale on mobile. Because I did experience, I like my experience with GeForce Now on mobile wasn't as great as say on my laptop. The main reason that I obviously wanted to try this out is because I have Xbox Game Pass already, and with it being linked between my PC, my Xbox, and now my phone, it's just so convenient. Now they've added EA Play to it. As much as I hate EA, at least I don't have to pay extra for that now. So if any good EA games come out that are available, I can play those too. It's just it's for me already having Game Pass. I would not go out of my way to get Game Pass for this feature. I'll put that out there. Would not go out of my way to get it specifically for this. I would rather stick to maybe something like GeForce Now. But since I already have Game Pass, it's going to be a great feature, I think, once they get that one little issue fixed.
Also, you know, you guys always talk about saving money and stuff. Right now, it's $1 for 3 months.
Yeah, you get 3 months of Game Pass for $1 right now. They're holding a special,
and that includes mobile.
Yeah, mobile, PC, and X. And some of the games, I mean, they have some really good games on PC. Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll notice sometimes though is like you'll see a lot of games go onto Game Pass, and then there'll be like the weekly free Epic game or something. You will see that quite a bit, but for me, again, Game Pass is huge because of just the sheer indie selection that you have at the touch of your fingers. Plus, my son has several games that he plays on it anyways, and it includes your Xbox Live subscription in with it. So it's like all of this stuff you get for like $15 a month. You can play it on whatever devices you have, except for Apple. But we fuck Apple.
We don't talk about that.
Which I know they're working on that. It's mostly just trying to get around Apple's stupid bullshit.
Yep.
They are working on that. I'm pretty 90% sure I've seen that on a fucking article. I think I even said it on the podcast. Someone go back and quote me on that. I know we did a story on xCloud coming to Apple or why it can't or whatever else.
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of a some goods and bads review of Game Pass Mobile. I kind of wanted to touch on the point that you're mentioning with your internet service in this, and how it may be impacting your experience with Game Pass. And mostly just on, you are not unique in your particular internet in your service, right? Like you have a service that is probably fairly standard to most Americans. and this is specifically an American thing. I don't know how with the internet, with the provider infrastructure situation is in like Canada or in the UK, but I do know Americans don't have great internet compared to other countries like Japan or South Korea. I've heard even in the EU that the internet is sometimes better than what it is here in the United States. But for like, someone just said, from what I've been told, it's terrible in the UK. Okay. So, I mean, for the majority of customers, I don't know how this is going to work for them, because if your situation is anything like Rev's situation, then the service is going to be not great at all, right?
Again, I'm making assumptions though.
Yeah.
Well, here's where I guess is the flip side on that. This is not a humble brag or anything. This is just straight, just telling it straight out. I have a gigabit internet, and I still ran into those issues. So, but then again, I think it. I don't know if it's a fair comparison, because at the time I'm doing alpha. In alpha, you had to be invited to the service, so obviously there wasn't as much people using it. Now it's open for anyone to use. I like I said, I run gigabit internet, and I still ran into the issues with not that much people. Well, I don't know how many people were in the service at the time, but I imagine nowhere near the amount of people there are on it now. So.
Yeah. And I just mostly bring that up to mention, I figure most of our audience is going to be in a similar situation to Rev or Green or I. And maybe they'll be lucky like you, Pinata, and, have gigabit internet service, but.
Hold on. I'm supposed to have a gigabit internet service. Supposed to.
Allegedly.
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 When it wants to fucking work.
That's true.
So yeah.
You okay, Rev?
Somebody's slamming stuff around in the kitchen. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Especially, I don't think we've mentioned it in a while, but because all the streaming services, it's also one of those things is like, most Americans probably won't have a great time using it anyways, because using any of these services anyways, because the internet in the United States is not great for the majority of people. Yeah. Anything else on Game Pass Mobile?
No. And like I said, I want to put one last emphasis on that is me assuming it might be my internet.
Yeah.
It may just be the service isn't optimized yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just
and it may not even be the service. It could just be my router. I do have it's a crappy internet company.
Mm-hmm.
It may just be a crappy router.
Yeah.
Might be, yeah.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about, or do we want to go to break first?
Dealer's choice, man.
Break, yeah.
All right, let's guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roast Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, Grampian, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase. Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roast Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, Grampian, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase.
All right, and we are back. So, I had mentioned earlier that this is going to be an entertaining episode, right? And when I say that, it's usually because it's going to be a Salt Fest. And I feel like we should just get the Salt Fest out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Now. It's time to talk some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Throw down.
There's a lot of it.
I know our audience likes to see us shit on companies. And this is going to be, oh, guys, this is going to be a fucking doozy. All right. So let me preface the story with two things. First off, we are a minnow entering the ocean occupied by whales like Linus Media Group and Jay's 2 Cents and Gamers Nexus and Marquise Brownlee, like the fucking whales. We are a minnow entering in this ocean here.
We are krill.
We are krill.
Krill.
Plankton.
And there is
Plankton.
we might not even be that. We might be like a little bacteria that single cell organisms feed on. The point is, there is nothing here for myself to say that those juggernauts in the industry haven't already said. And I understand this. Second, I wanted to talk about this because I just wanted to reaffirm our show's stance on the review process and how we conduct ourselves and the ways that we do it, and the reason why we do the things we do and say the things we do in terms of editorial and ethical standards. So last week, Nvidia sent an email to the computer hardware review channel on YouTube, Hardware Unboxed, which last Monday, by the way, had 644,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not huge, but certainly not insignificant, and I would say probably worth sending them review copies of hardware for. And the email said that because of Hardware Unboxed's editorial choices not to focus on ray tracing performances, they would no longer be providing review samples for Hardware Unboxed. So what does that mean? It means that instead of getting cards straight from Nvidia before release, they would have to get cards from partners like MSI or purchase the cards after release. Hardware Unboxed shared the email on Twitter and also specifically to Linus Media Group and others, and they this is what it said. I'm going to read the email verbatim as it was shown on Linus Media Group on Linus's WAN show. Quote, "Hi Steve, we've reached a critical juncture in the adoption of ray tracing, and it has gained industry-wide support from top titles, developers, game engines, APIs, consoles, and GPUs. As you know, Nvidia is all in for ray tracing. RT is important and core to the future of gaming, but it's also one part of our focused R&D efforts on revolutionizing video games and creating a better experience for gamers. This philosophy is also reflected in developing technologies such as DLSS, Reflex, and Broadcast that offer immense value to our customers who are purchasing a GPU. They don't get free GPUs. They work hard for their money, and they keep their GPUs for multiple years. Despite all of this, despite all this progress, your GPU reviews and recommendations have continued to focus singularly on rasterization performance, and you have largely discounted all of the other technologies we offer gamers. It is very clear from your community commentary that you do not see things the same way that we, gamers, and the rest of the industry do. Our Founders Editions boards and other Nvidia products are being allocated to media outlets that recognize the changing landscapes of gaming and the features that are important to gamers and anyone buying a GPU today, be it for gaming, content creation, or studio and streaming. Hardware Unboxed should continue to work with our add-in card partners to secure GPUs to review. Of course, you will still have access to obtain pre-release drivers and press materials. That won't change. We are open to revisiting this in the future should your editorial direction change. Brian Del Rizzo, Director of Global PR, GeForce. So that was the email that was sent. And we're going to get to our takes here. I know we all probably have real fucking doozies of takes. But I want to save that because I feel like we do have to kind of go through the timeline of events before we can give our takes. So this was released. Linus and other people that I mentioned, like Steve from Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents commented on the situation. Linus went on like a 35-minute fucking rant on the WAN show Friday. These guys, they provided a righteous smackdown. All of them. I watched Jay's 2 cents this morning. I saw the Gamers Nexus guys, or the official Twitter account from Gamers Nexus, do their shit too. I mean, righteous smackdown. And Nvidia did reach out to Hardware Unboxed and provided an apology. Green, are you ready?
Oh, what am I ready for?
Just get ready to rub your nipples. Hi, Steve. Thanks for your note.
Sorry.
I just wanted to say again how sorry I am for my original email. I overstepped my bounds, and it's as simple as that. I love seeing all the ways reviewers test and report on our products, and I value your contributions. Suggesting that I would withhold samples because I didn't agree with your commentary is simply inexcusable and cross the line. I failed myself. My colleagues, and the amazing community of reviewers I consider my friends. You all work so hard in service of the gaming industry we love. You deserved better from me. I hope you will forgive my mistake and give me the opportunity to be of service to you in the future. It would be great if you could share this with your fans so they would know how I feel. Thanks, BDR.
I'm not gonna lie, that voice you just did made it perfect. It just made it perfect the way they would talk to you as far as like making an apology.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Thank you. I am open to doing voice acting. Hit me up. So
my apology.
That
my glasses were off.
So that's the apology. Apparently they will continue to send Hardware Unboxed their review copies as they should have. It
after he broke his fucking ankles backpedaling.
Right? Yeah. And not after, like, so I mentioned the subscriber count on Hardware Unboxed. Right, it was now they're at 700K, I think, after this whole debacle because they got a huge signal boost. But yeah, they're at 664. Linus is sitting at 12 million on his main channel. Gamers Nexus, what are they at? Like 6 million? Or am I thinking of something else?
Like that. I think it's about 6 million. For
Jay's 2 cents at 3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me double check Gamers Nexus. Just because I don't want to seem like a jackass. Gamers Nexus is 1.2. 1.2 million. I might have, yeah. I just checked it.
It might have been the other way around then. I think Jay's is up there, right?
Jay's at like 3 million. I just checked this morning.
Okay.
Anyways, I mean, so juggernauts, right? And they got and Nvidia got the righteous smackdown. And
absolutely.
I have my take. We'll go around the horn here. I'll save my take for last, because I have some comments that I want to make specifically about our editorial process as the person who, as like the lead editor of the podcast. Like, I set our editorial standards for this show because it's my show. I set those ethical and editorial standards for the show, and I kind of want to reaffirm why I do that at the end of this discussion. But I'm gonna go to Green first.
Okay. I'm going to start this off by expressing that, like, eventually I wanted to get into content like that where I'm reviewing new PC parts and stuff like that. So that this is like a legitimate thing. And like I get that companies like have every right on who they want to send samples to. That is their given right, right? This initially felt like an attack on hardware Unboxed, simply because he was saying negative things about ray tracing in general, even though they were wrong about what they were even talking about, because he wasn't solely doing just like how the equipment's running at that time. He was doing DLSS content as well, and ray tracing. He just released like the day after a Cyberpunk video that talked about ray tracing and DLSS on the new cards. So all that was bullshit. And then to go around turning around and backpedaling so fucking hard once the general community knows about this shit, and like tell your fans that we're sorry, that we told you we were sorry. That is in and of itself is bullshit. Let the apology be the actual apology. If you have to apologize to someone, apologize to them, and they will let everyone know if that apology actually was earnest or not. By you telling them that to tell their fans, it wasn't a reach to them; it was a reach to the community. Okay.
Oh, it was saving face. It was
Oh,
a
absolutely,
bullshit PR move, is all it was.
absolutely. Bully. I mean, he is the VP of PR.
You think a VP would be a
So
little bit smarter at his fucking job.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I definitely think someone wrote this email for him. They put their name on it. They sent it out the door. Okay. I don't know what they got against him. I don't care. Just the whole hard backpedaling, and they have no room to talk any shit about like all this content reviews when they themselves are willing to send thousands of GPUs in the market for data mining instead of the actual consumers. When like these customers are going to see this after like not being able to buy a fucking card for 8 months because they're selling all these fucking GPUs to data miners, because that's where the money's at. I get it. That's where I mean, if it's making you money, it's okay. I get it. It's a free market. But to turn around and do this shit to give yourself even more community backlash is fucking asinine. Completely asinine. It's horrible. Like if I had the money right now, I would switch all my shit to AMD. I would switch all my GPUs to AMD simply because of that shit. It's petty. It's fucking petty. And then the fucking backpedaling. Fuck them. They're getting a certified fucking Nvidia. I don't even have to say fuck Apple this week.
You just did.
Shh. Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, let's go to Viva.
Okay. Well, there was a couple things. This was actually when I was watching the Linus Tech, well, the podcast. And he had a lot of points that I obviously agree with. But the one thing that irked me the most about the whole entire initial letter, is us gamers. Like us gamers.
Fucking right.
Why
Like he
are
speaks
you?
for me. Like
Yeah,
this
you speaking
motherfucker
for me.
speaks
Who the
for me.
hell? You telling me that it blew up, and now everyone's covering it, and the fact that you have that in there, and yet you, oh my god, you say us gamers, like we agree with you by your stance. And then, of course, the end of it, well, if you just happen to change your stance a little bit, maybe we'll start giving you shit back. Like who the?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah,
it's mafia bullshit.
It's
Yeah,
100%
complete
mafia
bullshit,
bro.
It's I mean, whoever wrote this letter to this guy, I'm not sure if you've witnessed 2020 so far, but you might want to take some, look at what everyone else done in the past as far as fucking up. Look at what you're doing and think about it really, really carefully. Like, should I really fucking send this out to this guy? Because EA, that's just one of them. They're countless amount of fuck ups. You see them do that, And then you have all these other companies, and we're gonna get to another one real soon. But anyway, you have all these companies fucking up, and you see this happen, and they all blow up, and yet you thought it was a great idea to send out that letter, and you thought that nothing was gonna happen. You thought he was gonna be like, well, I guess. I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, I really want those cards. No. You know why? Because AMD is waiting for you to do something stupid like this, and you did. It's like these companies get paid. These guys that send these letters get paid so much freaking money, and it just makes you think like you have to be some sort of stupid to think that was a great idea to do that. And then, like, I'm just seeing, like, and these people, these other, like Linus and all these other channels are so passionate about it. You can see the anger in Linus's face. I can feel it through the video. And I felt it myself because I'm like, this actually happened. Because you thought you could pick on a little guy compared to the other ones, of course. I'm just talking about, like, 500,000's little. It's not. But, compared to, other channels, would they pull that same shit off with Linus? Would they pull that same shit off with, J2? I don't know. They probably won't because they're not stupid, but they are stupid enough to do that and think they can get away with it too. So.
Yeah. And it was what, like 2 months ago that Steve at Gamers Nexus did his whole MSI breakdown?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's just
something like that.
And
I don't need
the
your
thing,
shit.
What's that?
I don't need your shit.
Yeah, he
go and buy it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said too. He's like, the only difference, MSI, between you playing nice and you not playing nice is just that I get the shit to review it on time. If your shit is shit, guess what? We're gonna talk about it regardless. We can just go out and fucking buy it. I mean, there's basically, he boiled like a 40-minute video to boil that down into what Steve at Gamers Nexus said.
Yeah,
and
it's
sorry, go ahead.
Legitimately, it's bullying and trying to manipulate the integrity of reviewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
pay to play.
Like you like with that letter, you made a lot of people's decisions very easy now. Very easy to change.
Us data miners, I mean gamers.
Yeah, us gamers.
Us gamers.
Our mindset has just changed, just like that. Right now you're not in exactly the greatest situation because your cards are not, in stores right now, and a lot of cryptos are buying out your cards, so you're not exactly in the greatest position to really send stuff like that. But you did it anyway. While you have your competitor releasing their shit out in the same time,
Rev, Padre, let's get your raw take.
All right, so first and foremost, this guy is a fucking idiot. Okay, this guy, Linus said it the best. He used these like mafia-esque tactics. Not only did he do this bullshit, but it was wrong. It was false. Like he was talking about what is that stuff called, DLSS or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Linus pulled an archive of the site of Hardware Unboxed, giving a favorable review of this stuff. So I want to know where this email's even rooted in. Like, why did this even happen? Because it's false. It's false. And then like the most insincere bullshit was that last line of the second email. Please let your community know. Well, fuck you. Fuck you. You messed up. And I can't understand how somebody that's supposed to be the VP or like the vice president of PR, public relations, can do something so goddamn stupid. Like something that's like everything that he did, from both the initial statement, which again, it's false. Like, why? Why is this even a thing? To the insincere bullcrap at the end. There are stockholders at Nvidia right now that are just losing their mind about this guy. And the fact that you can quote me on this, I wouldn't be surprised if he even has a job next week. Because that is ridiculous. That is the dumbest PR move that a vice president of PR could pull. It's kind
of similar to what that whole situation with when the Xbox One first came out. What was that quote? that guy said. He's like, if you don't like the online service on Xbox One, you can just, it's always an alternative option. It's your 360. You know, that, I think those comments are like,
I think like a mass idea going around the community is that it wasn't even Rizzo that actually wrote the email. I know he uploaded a video about it yesterday, Hardware Unboxed on the Hardware Unboxed channel. And he did say that he has had some bad experiences with a certain PR person within Nvidia, not necessarily Del Rizzo. So I mean, I very well could have been, he was sending these
Someone
emails
else.
out asking where these 3060s are, and then like to give that email weight, it definitely could have been, oh, we'll put his name on it, and I'll have Del Rizzo send this out. And
Yeah.
how busy is the VP of PR to actually read the email?
Yeah,
In
and
my opinion,
to
he
send a
should have
personalized
read it.
email to one guy with less than 1 million subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
Like, but it's that, that makes sense because, like, for instance, I'm going to give you like a small scale kind of comparison. Yeah, my father is a coach at a high school here in Oklahoma, and they fired the head coach after one losing season, 2 years after winning state championship. But because the new athletic director that came in the year they won the state championship didn't like the coach because they had prior experiences that were negative together, and so he looked for that first opportunity to fire that shot and get him out of there. It's like, oh, losing season, you're fired. It's like the same concept of, well, we had this negative past. We can really hit that sting on it. We just have to wait for our moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did. I mean, assuming that there is, because there's got to be something going on that's not right. Because once again, what he said in the email was not even true.
And
like he said positive things about the other aspects of the card.
Mm-hmm.
And
you posted on your website too.
Yeah, it was, you put it on your website. Yeah, exactly.
Green.
If someone actually wrote this email and then just attached Del Rizzo's name onto it and send it to him to send out to Steve, it's still a shame on Del Rizzo, because he should have read it and actually felt the weight of that actual email. Like, if you would have read that, like if you were the VP of PR and you read that email, like, would you have been like, hey, I'm not sending this out?
Well, not only that, what if if it got sent out without his approval, why haven't you made a statement? It's been how many days?
Well, he made the apology email though. So,
which was just as bad as the original email because of that bullshit last line.
Someone's getting fired. I don't know if it's Del Rizzo.
Yeah,
someone's getting fired.
Del Rizzo, as I understand it, he's a known commodity in the industry and in the community, right? Like, a lot of these larger creators will deal directly with Del Rizzo, or will not maybe deal directly with him, but will communicate with him in some sort of official capacity. So it's especially really weird that, like, if what Green said is right, and it's like someone that was working under Del Rizzo who, through official or unofficial means, was able to send the email through Del Rizzo's account or under Del Rizzo's name, then that says a lot about the systems at place at Nvidia when it comes to their marketing relations and their reviewers. So here's my take. This is some petty bullshit. I think we've all said this. This is the kind of behavior that I would expect to see out of some small pissant indie dev who's mad at a reviewer because they gave them a negative review. This is the kind of behavior, the kind of shit behavior that Sid Alpha would look at and put on his dirty devs list, right? This is the behavior of Zhao from Day of Dragons. This is the behavior from whatever fuckhead was putting out Civil Contract, right? The behavior of all these little Greg Tito or whatever his fucking name is, who keeps putting out shitty first-person shooters every other year, right? This pissant petty behavior of scammers and baiters on Steam who leverage the early act, right? This is that kind of behavior. And for Nvidia to have people on their executive PR team conducting that kind of behavior says a lot about them. And specifically, they didn't, as we've said several times before, it wasn't even that he was saying bad things. It was that he wasn't even focusing on ray tracing, right? He wasn't saying necessarily negative things. He was just not focusing on ray tracing as a part of the graphics card review. He was focusing on regular rasterization. So
what he did was he took a page out of EA's book and flipped that pay to win kind of mentality of, it's like, well, I mean, if you want to get ahead, you're gonna have to scratch my back if you want me to scratch yours. It's like that's not how independent media works, you dick.
Yeah, well,
if we're talking about petty, I just want to tell you, Pinata, I am fucking proud of you right now.
Real quick, and you actually had a Linus actually said that. He said, I don't know if you respect the real gamers who spend real money on graphics cards, because that's the entire point of what we do, making sure that they spend their real money on graphics cards that are the best for them. He also had another one that I really enjoyed that said, he said, you either respect free and independent media or you don't. You don't get to selectively respect them. Mm-hmm. And here's a big part of it is Nvidia, you as the manufacturer, in your email, or you as a manufacturer, you don't get to tell reviewers how they get to review the products, right? You have to send that product to the reviewer, understanding that they're going to review it on their own basis, because that's what their audience wants. Our audience wants us to review games based on our parameters. They don't. If I wanted to hack up some shit and try to be Total Biscuit, I'd put on a fucking fake accent and like talk about how there's no fucking, slider, FOV slider, right? But that's not what our audience wants. Nvidia, Hardware Unboxed's audience wants what Hardware Unboxed is going to tell them, right? That's why they go to Hardware Unboxed. You don't get to make editorial decisions for a company, right? Just as much as Hardware Unboxed doesn't get to tell your engineers how to do shit.
Right. Oh, that perfect. I like that. That's a good line.
And this is your fucking marketing, right? You send the product to them because you know that you want their audience to buy your fucking product. Mm-hmm. It's marketing.
And if you trust your product to be as good as it can be, then a fair, unbiased review is the best thing you can have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I also want to point out that these are reviewers. These aren't influencers. This isn't Ninja, right? You're not sending him a 3090 so he can play fucking Fortnite on his 3090, right? You're sending this to this person because they know what the fuck they're talking about in terms of the hardware.
They can put together graphs and numbers for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not sending it off to fucking Ninja. This is a reviewer, not an influencer. So, as I mentioned, I'm the editorial lead of the show. I want to, real quick, I commend Steve's bravery because Team Green is ferocious. Their fanboys are ferocious. And really, in Team Green's eyes, Nvidia can do no wrong. He did exactly what I would have done. And this is me speaking as the editorial lead. We've been incredibly lucky that, and this might speak to the fact that we're just krill in the ocean, but we've been incredibly lucky that we've never had a dev who didn't like what we had to say about their game try to DMCA us or threaten us for, our negative coverage. But let me just make it a point right now. Should anyone think that you can do that to us, expect this kind of treatment. Expect your DMs to get shared.
Fucking in you.
Expect
find it too, because I mean, isn't there a free market? Isn't there like a if we're doing it solely for review and not monetary gain, it's free market, right? It's free game or fair game.
Yeah. So expect your DMs and your emails to get shared.
And expect to have a chat with my lawyer, Danny K.
Danny K. Esquire. So again, just I'm going to end it off just saying commendations you be given out for the industry and the creators in the community for providing the muscle, for smacking this bullshit down as fast as they fucking could. hopefully we don't see this kind of bullshit again.
Lesson learned. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So that's the Nvidia hardware situation. Nvidia and hardware unbox situation. It seems right now that it's been learned, but guys, support your reviewers. If you guys enjoy what you're, even it doesn't matter if it's us, if it's, you know, if it's the fucking minnows or the fucking sharks or the fucking whales in the ocean, support your reviewers. What's up, Green?
Oh, I just realized what was going on with Pinata.
Oh.
I'm like sitting there like, what is Pinata? What kind of shade is Pinata throwing? Oh, scrolling AMD. I got you.
Just, for the audio listeners, I have an LED board, and I have the AMD logo on it. So, you know, because I'm Team AMD. So
Yeah. Okay. So, moving on from that, guys, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And Epic Games.
Absolutely.
yes.
Most wonderful time of the
I thought you were gonna say like frigidly cold and snowy, but no, we'll talk about Epic Games.
They're giving away a bunch of games right now. A ton of games.
Well, in 2 days.
That sounds very
Well.
epic.
But
Okay. So it's time for a crazy deal. Everyone can check this out. Epic Games will be giving away 15 free games every 24 hours running until the end of the year. It starts on December 17th. Each game will only be available for 24 hours and will be changed out every day. All you have to do is have an Epic Games Store account and claim the game, and it's yours to keep forever, just like their bi-weekly free games. So, yeah. We were talking a little bit before the show, and I don't remember specifically where I saw this, but I'm pretty sure that the Epic Games free games thing that they're doing, it was mostly a push to get people to move from Epic Games to Steam, or get at least used to get used to using the Epic Games launcher. So that program of theirs, where they give away a free game like every week, every other week, might be ending in 2021. I don't remember specifically where I saw that, and I haven't seen anything official that says that they are ending it. But just be aware of that, that program might be ending in 2021. But yeah, guys, it's 15 free games. You don't have to pick or you don't have to pick them all up, but I would recommend it anyways, just so you have them. It's just like how I claim
your library.
Yeah, I literally just claim every single free game that I see. I have way too many fucking video games now that I own. Do I really own them?
You have the licensing rights.
I can access them. I mean, from between Epic and Twitch Prime, I have a library that is way too fucking large.
Yeah.
Any thoughts that you guys wanted to share? I haven't seen what games are giving away yet. I haven't seen.
They haven't
anything.
announced anything. I think they're going. I think they're going to be surprises, just like at Christmas. I think that's literally what they're going to do. They will reveal them on the day.
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's it. I want to do.
Motherfucker.
I want to do TikToks like that, where it's just like constant surprise, motherfucker, for the day of that Epic game deal. That'd be hilarious.
Honestly, I would imagine that they're gonna kind of go all out with this one. Kind of like what they did with GTA and stuff like that. They're just gonna, because they thrive off that stuff. So you're like, oh my god, Epic Games is giving out this game. Oh, they're. I don't think they're gonna get lazy. And what I mean by lazy, I mean like, how certain services have the same game that's free for all platforms, or all services have the same game. Like, Enter the Gungeon was free for Xbox Live, and then it was also free on Epic, and it was also free on Humble, and it was also free on this. I think if they're gonna do it right, they're gonna make games that are not just I already have,
ones you probably picked up in a Humble bundle somewhere, or like a random game key giveaway. I see. I think you're gonna run into a few of those, like not a whole lot, like a few of those. Yeah. But I think there's gonna be at least 2 to 3 like absolute like shockers, like
bangers,
like oh shit, like maybe like especially on Christmas, so that way
I can see Control. I'm gonna call now. I think I can see Control being one of those games.
Yeah,
Control. That would be a big one right there.
What is the other one? Satisfactory? Is that,
I've been wanting to play that, and if it's free, more reason to get it.
Those are my thoughts on. Yeah, I agree. I think there's gonna be a couple of like really good ones, and then some like maybe like a Night in the Woods. Like some good indie ones like that are popular, like Hollow Knight. Which you'll get in a lot of humble bundles and stuff. Something like that. You'll get like through a few, but there are going to be at least a couple in there that are going to be shockingly good.
Yeah.
Maybe Christmas Day they have something huge.
Yeah, same with New Year's.
See, I'm curious though. Are they gonna release something that's gonna be so fucking great that it's gonna break their servers again? Are they gonna GTA 5?
Probably that. Look, let's be honest. They look forward to those days.
What if that's what all that was like testing to see what do we do to fix it, because we have plans for the Christmas time. Now, if they're going to do that, I would expect them to probably drop like the biggest bangers like on the holidays when people would likely miss them.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe there's going to be like an announcement for a game that wasn't previously on Epic that may drop. Like a big one, like, oh yeah, by the way, boom, here's this available on the Epic Game Store for free. Come get it.
Yeah.
What did they? Is it confirmed games?
Yeah.
Or is it okay? It's just games. Because I was thinking like maybe they're like, we're gonna give out the Rocket Pass for free or something like that.
Surprise, guys!
That'd be pretty cool.
Epic first day of Epic free game giveaway. Fortnite. Woo!
Next is Dauntless.
COD shows up. COD shows up on freaking Epic Game Store. That's how.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was like, I made a weird noise. That was my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, so we'll see. By the way, Viva, weren't you on when we talked about GTA 5 breaking Epic Games?
Yep.
That was your first appearance.
Yep, I was there. And we were also bitching about something really salty at the time, too. So kind of worked out.
So it was a good Salt Fest. Was it Crucible?
Oh, I love it. No, it was that guy. They released it was a pay to play game.
Oh, the calling.
Yeah. I forgot about that. So did everybody, because it fucking sucked.
We just went off.
I need to do like a best of the year thing. that rant, this Nvidia rant, that rant. I mean, there's probably a couple that I
the calling
iPhone,
the
iPhone not including the fucking charging port.
Yeah,
I wish I was there for that. I would have.
Quick update on the culling real quick. Zavient on the culling origins Twitter page, they have not posted a single tweet since July 8th.
We have an update. Damn. With the update there. Nice.
All right. Anything else on the Epic Games giving shit away?
I like free stuff.
I like free stuff too.
Same.
Thanks.
We gotta go get our dinner from all the free samples at Walmart, or what's the
Walmart, Costco.
Sam's Club Saturday.
Real quick, just thought I should go ahead and put this out there. I am an Epic supporter creator code, so when you get these free games, use supporter creator rev spin. I don't get anything for it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, those.
Also, real quick, Zavient's last tweet was a retweet of that Culling Origins tweet, so Zavient themselves haven't posted anything since. They actually haven't posted since May 12th.
Okay, guys, let's talk about the Game Awards. We got some announcements from the Game Awards.
Fun stuff.
Do we want to talk about like the winners? Like it doesn't. I mean,
nah. We're more excited about what's to come. Fuck the past. We're looking to the future.
I'm happy for Among Us. I'm happy for Hades. I love indie games winning big awards. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm ready to discuss some of the games I'm so excited for out of these announcements.
Okay. So the first announcement that I am going to mention is Perfect Dark Remake. Perfect Dark was on the N64. It looks like they're giving it like a gritty remake. I don't know much else about it. Are you guys interested in it?
Yeah. Well, this is my thing. I actually tweeted about this. I'm like, I was like, okay, Xbox, I see you, because there's the thing. Right now, Xbox One doesn't really have much exclusives, and their one exclusive is now like, who knows when that's coming out. But to see that they're actually showing more games that are exclusive, I'm like, yes, that's what you do to sell your system. And Perfect Dark, remaking that. That was a good game. Mind you, the one that came out 360 it was okay. But I'm actually very excited for Perfect Dark because I actually did play it on 64 and it was fun. Yeah.
Reskin
How are
Gold
you gonna pump exclusive information to sell consoles that you can't even buy?
Well, I'm talking about this game ain't
Unless you
coming
go on
out until like
eBay.
2020.
That one hurt.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, this game is probably coming out like 2022 or something like that. So who knows when this comes out. But I imagine there will be more consoles available at the time. Well, at least I would like to think so.
So
Hope. Cross
Yeah,
your fingers.
Cross your fingers.
For
I don't have to worry
COVID-20.
about it. I have Xbox Live Pass
Mm.
on PC, so I'll probably just play it on there.
So next one on my list is the Mass Effect teaser trailer. More Mass Effect is coming,
A lot of people excited.
and it's not involved, and it's nowhere near Andromeda. So
I'm still kind of sour about BioWare right now, so we'll see more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Back for Blood is
Yes. Oh.
This is the one that I kind of piqued my interest. It's from Turtle Rock, who made Left 4 Dead, and it's a cooperative zombie shooter, just like Left 4 Dead. Looks dope though.
But they're like parasitic, and like the scaling can be massive.
Oh, they're huge zombos.
I love it. Oh, that one that was like the spider that shot the goop out its butthole at that chick on the ground was really fun.
It was great.
That may not have come out of his butthole. It should have.
Fucking what?
They might change it now.
Yeah, dude. Maybe that's what it'll be in the real game. Like this dude's chilling on a light pole, and he's like, she's stuck to the ground. I loved everything about that because it was like it reminded me of the OG Left 4 Deads where you had the goofy commentary, like everybody's just like super chill, relaxed, and like laid back, but still killing everything around them. But like that gigantic tank looking thing at the end that looked like it was 20 foot tall.
I like that it took a lot of the aspects of what was that game that came out before this one? It was Evolve. It took a lot of the environmental, like the big ass zombie literally destroying the environment as it's going. I like that. It's
I remember that game. Yeah.
It was. I like that they took that aspect and put it into this game. So what I'm kind of hoping is that, like, for example, that big zombie is literally chasing you throughout the whole entire map. So it's like you're worried about these, ads or little zombies, but you're also worried about this big ass hat, coming at you at the same time. So it's like a long ass boss battle, essentially.
Yeah. Same devs,
which
by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's one thing I would like to see if they could. I wanted to see them take one of the aspects similar to Dead Island, where like instead of just picking a character because it's like, oh, it's Bill. Yeah, fuck Bill. They you pick your character base. It's like, oh, well, this one's better with explosives. This one's better with like light firing deals like submachine guns and pistols. This one's better with melee weapons, like they did on Dead Island. Because I think that's always like a really cool aspect because then you have to like kind of build who's better with what around your team.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I'm so freaking excited.
I would like to pick Karen. She's good with coupons, so she can get the build price to go down.
Whenever you get her to the full stage, she gets her ult because this is going to be like a hero shooter, and she immediately jumps in front of that giant zombie. Her hair gets massive with the pixie cut and says, "I want to speak to your manager."
Next,
I also another Valve game that's not gonna have a 3. So yeah, saying.
Yeah. Real quick, just really early on in the podcast history, like you guys might have to like find it on Spotify.
Chocolate probably seen it.
Probably I have reviewed Evolved because it went free to play in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Another game on the list or that was announced is Ark 2, and its Ark is getting an animated series. And Vin Diesel is apparently like an executive producer or some shit too.
He's also like the main character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit. Yeah, but whatever.
I need your opinion on this, guys. Didn't the trailer look kind of stiff as far as the animation?
Yeah.
Like, am I the only one that seen that? Like I looked at it, I'm like, God, I'm like disturbed of how like the fighting scene. It was like just I don't know, just
The frame rate was like cut in half.
it was just I don't know. I was like, this is not selling me. And then you see Vin Diesel's face, you know.
But Vin Diesel.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, like you're saying Vin Diesel as if his two best movies are the only ones where he like doesn't speak or says one word, aka Groot, the Iron Giant.
Yeah,
The ones where you don't see his face. Those best roles. I hate Vin Diesel.
Have you seen Pitch Black? That movie is fantastic.
No, it wasn't. It was a fun action film, but it was not a fantastic movie.
Honestly, I was completely lost with the whole entire trailer. Like, I would not like if you would have told me right off the bat that it was an arc. Like, I was just so lost the whole entire time. Like, what is this going to be? I thought it was going to be a Jurassic Park type of thing. I don't know. I was very confused.
I'm also just like, does Ark really need a sequel? Like, is
No,
Ark a strong enough game that it needs a franchise? I
thought it was like Destiny, where it was always like being updated and just like the content just being pushed into the, you know, I didn't know it was gonna. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I didn't really. Yeah.
Next is Dragon Age. They got another teaser trailer for the new Dragon Age.
I can understand why people are excited about that. You know,
they've
been waiting for a while for this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been like I think the last one was Inquisition, was it?
Yeah, back in 2014.
My lord, that has been a while.
Yeah, and they actually announced this game back in like 2018, but they're just now finally getting.
Well, good. That's good.
Getting some ground on it. It's a popular franchise. I never played it myself, but I understand the allure.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, into someone. Hi, I'm Big said Ark has a huge following, super active. I own it on every platform. I'm not talking about Ark like not being like a good game or, you know, having a good following. I'm talking about as like an idea. Does it really need like a sequel game, and does it really have a strong enough identity to do an animated series? Is more what I'm talking about, not necessarily the quality of the game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Ark like a survival sim type game?
Yeah.
And so this would be like doing 7 Days to Die 2, the 8th day or something. You know,
it's like 7 Days to Die with dinosaurs. Or
that's what I thought, because I played Atlas, which was a reskinned version of Ark.
Yeah,
and, like, it was so badly like reskinned that if you went in and looked at the source files, they still said Ark in them. Like, they still had Ark in a lot of the source files. Like, they literally just tried to reskin the game. It was ridiculous.
And then they tried to sell it for $60, or was it $40?
I don't know. They gave it to me for free. I was like, this game's trash. You can have it back. Yeah, I want a refund.
So next on the list is It Takes Two. Got an official trailer.
Oh,
that looks good.
I absolutely love like the art style, the story behind it, the co-op. It's just like everything I like. I just like it a lot, and it's beautiful.
I mean, fuck EA, but
good. Yeah.
Next is Season. Got announced.
Yeah, Season looked interesting. It's gonna be a PS4 exclusive, though, right? I think
so. I think that's what I saw.
It may be a PS4 console exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It is going to be on Steam as well. So console wise, yeah, it will be an exclusive. It looks. I like the look of it. Obviously.
Road 96 got announced.
I want to play that one just because of the. I mean, I think this game right here is going to hit big with our age group because it's. I mean, it is literally just takes on pop culture in the 90s. Like, there's going to be, it's not, here's my prediction, it's not going to be like this great amazing game, but so many people are going to love it just because of the nostalgia factor.
This is going to be the Ready Player One of video games.
Yep, that's actually a very good point. 100%. Yeah.
Next on the list is Open Roads,
from the developers of Gone Home.
Yep.
I'm excited for that again, just because I liked Gone Home, so I'm probably gonna like Open Roads.
You know, I was debating on putting like right next to those last 4 games, looks like a game for Rev. And I didn't, and I really regret not doing it.
Yeah, like the rest of the games on the list, I'm looking at them and I'm like, I'll play it. Swedish Chef on Overcooked, whatever, I'll do it.
Next is Evil West, a dark fantasy western.
That's honestly the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna start using the term boomer shooter. That's kind of what it's one of those old school Doom clone kind of games.
Mhm.
Next is Endless Dungeon, which Pinata sounds excited for.
That's more
very
his.
much.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
roguelike.
definitely his
I mean,
stuff.
come on.
Yeah.
There's a reason his name is Rogue Pinata now.
No, honestly, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's kind of like a combination of a roguelike and like team shooter, but not team shooter, like huge like class based type of thing. Like they really heavily rely on like you will like it. There's a huge co-op aspect. I think as far as I read into it, there's like computer partners too, and you really want to make sure that you have a good party to go through these levels and stuff. You can't just gun ho type of thing. You need a healer, you need a tank, and you need this. So you don't need it, but they really have you push deeper into trying to make sure you're getting the right comp to go through these dungeons and stuff like that. And of course, the random aspect is always fun too.
Yeah. Next is the Callisto Protocol, which has Glenn Schofield from Dead Space involved, which kind of a Dead Space revival or spiritual successor of sorts, which will be kind of cool because a lot of people want Dead Space back.
Oh yeah,
that game has like an unusually large following still, considering how it was never that massive to begin with. I guess in terms of like original horror games, not like successors to other franchises like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. It is up there, but like to see just how strong that Dead Space community still is really cool. I hope that this really falls in line with that same kind of the aesthetic, the atmosphere, which it looks like it does, but it's not coming out until 2022. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to your point about the following, Dead Space, the legacy of it is the Resident Evil of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the first one was on 360, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was like that generation's like OG horror game, because like it's kind of hard to find original horror games anymore that have that level of like sustainability that they can create sequels and still be wildly successful.
Yeah, especially survival horror, right? Because right now horror games, there's not like a ton of survival horror. It's all Outlast likes.
Yeah.
It's the
jump scares.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. What was it, last week or the week before? Where like horror games are kind of exhausting because you spend so much time just creeping around and like peeking corners and being like, okay, where's the monster? I gotta be like really quiet. Oh, my flashlight's almost out of battery. Oh shit!
My god, my flashlight's out of batteries. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
the horror equivalent of a survival sim.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like survival horror, it's like the genre can only have like one at a time. Like it never gets like flooded.
We'll see what Resident Evil Village is like when it comes out too. Though, it's looking promising. On if I'm being 100% honest, like 7 did pretty well. I didn't. I was like, but 8's looking good. We'll see where that ends up.
Yeah. Anything else on the Game Award announcements? Because we have one more topic that we need to talk about.
Master Chief's coming to Fortnite.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
Ghouls and Goblins are coming back.
Let's go ahead and actually address the fact that it was extremely hyped that Sephiroth got announced for Smash. I mean, like a lot of people were pretty. I myself included. Like I'm gonna steal my son's Switch and play the because I love Sephiroth, and the trailer for it was really good.
Really good.
Super
See
good.
Mario just literally just get yeeted. It was great.
Yeah. That in and of itself, I was like, good. Sephiroth's mine. I'm getting him.
Sephiroth senpai. Yes.
Notice
it's
me,
funny.
Senpai.
Stab you with that
Notice me.
sword.
It's one thing I noticed though, like during the announcement, and they made the announcement, a lot of people were just like I noticed, and this is not against Super Smash Brothers fans or whatever, but man, they are just like, it feels like a lot of them are just not happy with anything they do. I want this character. Where's Sora from Kingdom Hearts? I want him.
Yeah,
know,
if
or-
you don't give them the specific character they want, they're gonna shit all over the franchise.
Where's Dante? I don't want any more sword characters. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Look, never in our lives, at least I never thought that the day where I would see Sephiroth go against Bowser, like in a game. They're doing things like that you just never thought that it would be possible, and they're doing it.
You get to fight Sephiroth with a Pokemon.
Yeah,
Or
freaking
Steve from Minecraft.
Or Steve versus Sephiroth. I mean, come on. It's honestly, it's like, you know, I understand, and like, oh, they want certain characters to show up, and this one came out of the blue. No one even thought this was going to happen. Like, I was watching Maximilian's stream, and they all flipped out because they had no clue that this was going to happen, because they thought it was going to be another character from a Nintendo property again. No one thought it was going to be Sephiroth, and I'm very happy it is, and I will be playing him.
I'm still waiting for Mike Tyson's Punch Out to come in, but I know he's OP as fuck, so they're not going to probably add him.
Mike Tyson just his down punch is him just biting someone's ear.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like Punch Out, then it'll cheat too. After the bell rings, it will punch you.
Which is exactly what Tyson did.
Yeah.
So that's the Game Awards and all the announcements.
It was a good show. It was a good show too.
Honestly. Yeah. So I don't have a topic card for this, but we're just gonna get into. We mentioned Cyberpunk's release last week. It's been an interesting week for Cyberpunk fans. I'm gonna get on my high horse. Whoa, boy. Whoa. Calm down, horsey. This is why you don't pre-order games. We've said it before on the show. We've said it multiple times in the show. Don't pre-order your fucking games. You don't know what maybe this is a bad example to say, do you pre-order for your pizza? But
you don't. No.
You pay with card, you do.
If you order online, you prepay. But yeah, there's a reason when the pizza person shows up, they flip the lid for you. Like,
here's your piece. You like the pre-order? You want to buy it now?
So, Cyberpunk did release a statement on Monday, yesterday, the 14th, explaining that there are going to be a few patches coming in January and February.
Yeah.
This is mainly geared to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One base users.
Yeah, those consoles are.
Yeah. Apparently, the game's not running very well on those consoles. I've heard horrible reviews, and I've heard great reviews on different systems. I mean, you do have to realize it is a next gen game on a last gen console if you're running a PS4 base. So I mean, on my aspect, I feel like this could have been avoided if in fact they would have postponed the game a little bit longer to actually get like the full testing out. But then on the flip side of that, they've been making this game for what, 8 years now?
Yeah,
I think that's what they were saying. 8 years. I mean, and what were they mainly like pushing that out for? Just PC, or like how are they not having this like, you know, optimized fully for PS4 and Xbox One? So I mean, there's two sides to that coin. They are going to be issuing refunds up until December 21st for PlayStation 4 and Xbox users. They have to go through the refund system through PSN and Xbox. And then also, if they have a disc version, they would prefer that you go to the store where you bought the game to try to get the refund. If not, then there's contact information, which is actually help me refund at cdprojectred.com.
Yeah.
Send them an email.
So I actually saw this thing floating around Reddit where Sony PlayStation, the PSN, if you bought it through the PSN, that you might not be eligible for a refund because of their policies, which I think is bullshit. But so yeah, check if you are interested in getting a refund. I'm kind of the opinion right now with it of, first off, a lot of you probably shouldn't have pre-ordered it, but again, let's just be on my high horse here. It I don't know. It was an overhyped thing. I was kind of half expecting this. I understand on those base consoles that yeah, it was probably not going to be the best experience. That you were probably going to want to play it on PC or on a next gen console. But
I mean, PC's having issues too.
yeah,
Like,
PC's having a lot of bugs too.
Yeah, which I mean, it's to be expected. It just came out. I heard a lot of people said The Witcher 3 had bugs when it came out too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
as long as they're actively aware of these bugs and genuinely, announcing that there's going to be patches coming, I mean, I would say at least give them a chance to rectify that. But I mean, you also paid full price for a AAA game, so I mean, you gotta find where you personally have that line that's been crossed to get that refund. I mean,
Yeah, I think
me
it's
personally,
yeah.
I'm sorry if for me on PC, I would wait. But I mean, I get it. The PlayStation 4 base players, they can't, necessarily not everyone's gonna be able to afford a top line PC to run a game. So, I mean,
Yeah. No,
depends.
when it comes to like, I think it's it's like it's blown up now because, again, as we mentioned, this game has been in development for however long, and obviously intended for current generation. I don't know if that was their intention or they were whatever. The majority of the people who are buying this game, I would like to think the majority are current generation or previous generation console holders. I would imagine. That's probably why it's blown up so much. But the thing is, like, from what I've been seeing, as far as like the screenshots and videos of this stuff, it's and their response also, like, what was it? They I'm not sure that this is what they exactly said, but they don't know if they spent enough time or we didn't spend enough time on the previous generation or something like that. I don't know the quote. I just saw it not too long ago, but it's like, you know, it's how I feel about like Halo Infinite when it comes out. It shouldn't be released on the current generation. It should just be exclusive and just kind of focus on that. So then you can just, push out the product and stuff. I know it's going to screw over people that have Xbox Ones and stuff, but
Well, realistically, it
Yeah.
kind of feels like this game should have been pushed back once more,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Green said, but specifically for that specifically not let me rephrase. It should have been pushed back because it should have not been a next gen console early launch like it
Mhm.
is. It should have been pushed back to they could meet the demands of the newer generation consoles and just sell it to newer generation consoles, because like some of the stuff I've seen is so poorly done that it's if I was on the train to play that game, I would have been furious, and a lot of people are, and it's like, yeah, you could say like there are in like on PC and stuff, like Green said, when there are bugs, they're to be expected. It happens. Because there's only so much a testing team can do, right? Like
Mhm.
shit slips through the cracks. That's understandable. But to see what has happened to these previous gen consoles, it should have. I mean, they had already pushed it back so many times.
Mhm.
Might as well push it back again and say, listen, we're going to wait until the demand is met for the next gen consoles, so we can go ahead and just push it out to them, because the previous gen consoles just can't effectively run it.
Also, another thing I also thought of too is like, I've actually had I was like, I think it was between PS3 and PS4. Um, there's been games that came out in both systems that never was that bad.
Oh yeah.
There have been graphical differences, yes,
From here
but as
to
far
here.
as that, it's like the it's I don't know. It's I don't know. I feel sorry. This is why I wanted to wait for the game to come out. But I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Though it was just going to be a slight graphical difference, and then that's it. I didn't know it was going to be, to this extent.
Well, and I'll say, I mean, we can sit here and chop it up to this is what they should have done, that's what they should have done. They probably recognize the same things that we do.
Yeah.
But like Cam Newton says, hindsight's 50-50. So
Damn.
Well, I mean, that's the thing I want to stress the most, though. It's like they did market this game for, PS4, Xbox One with a full price tag. So when they marketed it for PS4 and Xbox One, they never mentioned anything about X or Pro.
No.
They said PS4. So
mhm.
if you're paying for, the full price for the AAA game, it better run as advertised. At least look like it runs like advertised. Like, I get that it's old gen, but
The difference is
I can
astronomical. Though.
see why people are pissed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's unjustified. Like they're like we were saying, like Pinata was saying, there were graphical differences in the last time that the gens jumped from the 3 to the 4, or the 2 to the the 2 to 3 is a different story, 3 to 4. But they were like this, and then compared to now, where the graphical difference in Cyberpunk is, I can't even actually fit this on the screen. It's
Mhm.
that bad. Like it runs like one of those like indie games that are designed to look like a PS2 game. And it's just like it was
Yeah.
bad.
Because there's been a couple games like for example Assassin's Creeds in the past where they both released in PS4 or PS3 and PS4 at the same time, and all the difference was graphical difference, and that's it. The gameplay still kept intact, and as far as I remember, I mean, again, this is so far back, but I don't remember it being like this. So that's where I understand the where people are pissed off about. It's like, we know, yes, there's limitations with the older hardware, but it is not this much. I
So
mean,
I should also clarify, um, what I have stated has not been a review of the actual gameplay for the audio listeners. It is just the fact that the quality of the game on PS4, Xbox One is not up to par. This in no way is reviewing the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of it, it looks like a fantastic game
Yeah.
on PC. So like once I actually get my hands on it, I'll actually do like a full like I like this game or I don't like this game.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from a perspective of the PS4, Xbox purchasers that I understand the frustration that they're having right now. So
Yeah. So I think we should. I'm looking at our time here. We're running a bit long. Let's go on ahead and start wrapping up the show. I'm gonna draw our winners for the giveaway.
Yeah.
While I'm doing that, Mr. Pinata, tell the kind folks out there who don't know who you are, what you do, and where people can find you.
Well, I am I would like to say I'm a strictly roguelike game streamer type of thing, so Hades, Enter the Gungeon, Not Rouge, stuff like that. I do tend to play right now. I'm kind of going into like a lot of Pokemon stuff right now, like Pokemon TCG Online. So if you're a fan of that, I do a lot of unboxings and just kind of learning how to play it. But yeah, my big thing is rogues, or rouges and stuff. So you can find me
Plays
at
Rouge Lights.
Rouge Lights, yes. You can find me at twitch.tv/RoguePinata. Be happy to see you there.
Excellent, guys. Links are always in the description of the episode. Shout out is in the Twitch live chat right now. We have our 3 winners for the pair of giveaways. Once again, congratulations to our winners from YouTube, Elliot and I can't remember. It was another person with a YouTube name.
oh shit, what was that name? I had it on the tip of my tongue and then I lost it.
Anyways, congratulations to those guys. They won a pair of games, one for themselves and one to give to their friends. And congratulations to our winners here in Twitch chat, Dead Shattern, Zombie Potion, and Lou Merc. You guys both win a pair of games, one for you and one to give for a friend for this Christmas season.
Congrats!
Give to your friends.
Give it to your friend.
Your friends deserve some gifts and some kisses. Guys, don't be
And
afraid to kiss your friends.
Extra crispy chicken.
Well, not extra crisp, but chicken. All right, Green, what's coming up on your channel?
Okay, so I just want to clarify. Friday, I officially announced I'm going full-time content creation, due to some personal stuff with my current employment. And that's effective January 1st, so I'm super excited for that. I'm full-time content creation, baby. I'm moving up to the big
Yeah.
leagues, hopefully. We'll see. Just love me. I'm probably gonna be playing some Warzone tomorrow because there's a new Warzone thing coming out, which I'll probably talk about on Tuesday next week. And then I think I'm gonna do something Among Us style on Friday. So catch me on twitch.tv/Mr. Green Elite. You can also catch my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, OnlyFans,
Ooh.
official,
Ooh.
all at Mr. Green Elite, except for Instagram's TTV Mr. Green Elite. So, that's all I got.
Padre, what's coming up on yours?
Oh, I don't know. I'm probably gonna fight some final boss in some game called Blasphemous tomorrow morning. God, I'm not looking forward to that. It's gonna be stressful. So coming up for me, like I said, yeah, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central. I've been streaming a lot in the mornings because it's just easier for me. I'm going to be completing Blasphemous, but tomorrow night I'm going to be playing Phasmophobia for the first time. Good friend of mine bought it for me, so I'm going to be giving that one a shot. After that, if I can manage to beat that boss on Blasphemous, my next game I'm going to be rolling into is called Fury. Heard good things about it. Haven't tried it out myself. And then after that, I'm going to kind of just see where... Oh, I got to play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. So that's coming soon. I heard that game is rage-inducing, so I'm excited to be not excited. But one thing I am going to be doing, probably off stream, but covered next week on the podcast, is there is a new legend in Smite. They've added a Tanuki warrior. I think his name is Dozenburo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he is he's a little raccoon that turns into a rocket. So, well, he's technically a Tanuki, which I guess is technically not a raccoon. But either way, I'll be covering that next week. So I might be trying that out on next Monday. But aside from that, yeah, you can just find me anywhere except for Twitch at RevSvin TV. And then on Twitch, it's just RevSvin.
Yes. By the way, Tanukis, they are definitely not... It's not even like technically they're definitely not raccoons. They're raccoon dogs. They're actually in their own separate family in the canine family. Or they're in their own separate species or sub whatever.
Hold on. Danny's like, actually.
He hit me with the actually.
I just like Tanukis. They're cute. They're adorable.
They're very adorable.
So I had to look up
This
the
one's-
Wikipedia page one night while I was
This
unable to
one's a
sleep.
bastard, though.
You heard of melatonin?
Why take melatonin when you can
You
just
can
stay
look
up
up
until
Tanuki.
3 a.m. reading Wikipedia articles on your phone?
Or you could just do drugs like the rest of us.
I mean, there's
Yeah, at the
that.
Next to Nothing podcast, do not condone in any way, shape, or
But-
form the use of drugs.
By the way, both of you guys said
Disclaimer.
next week on the podcast, we're doing our After Dark next week.
Oh, that
It
is
won't be
true.
live. So that's an
But I thought-
announcement.
Mark it on the mango.
We are doing, but I thought we are doing both though, right? Like we're doing the regular podcast and the recording after, or are we just doing the After Dark? That way I just know what to mark on my schedule.
I guess that's a conversation for after the show. We'll make the announcement on Twitter.
Sounds good. Follow Danny on Twitter.
Okay, so coming up on my channel, more Fallout 4. I actually played a little bit off stream, mostly just like doing stuff for things like building my settlement and whatever. So Fallout 4 this week, I've actually been really enjoying it. Surprisingly, I was thinking I was gonna hate it, but I've been thoroughly enjoying it lately. So yeah, I'll be playing some Fallout 4, maybe some Apex Legends too. Coming up on my YouTube channel, so I did put out a playthrough for Summerland. If you guys are interested, check that out. And coming up for the rest of the YouTube is I actually have finished the first chapter of Not for Broadcast with the bonus chapters, and all those videos will be coming out. The rest of the videos will be coming out in the next 2 weeks, so you guys can check that out as well. Otherwise, you guys can find me on Twitter at DannyK, DANIECAE, and the same handle is on Instagram. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching and listening to the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's show and got some good information out of it. If you guys
some extra time, damn it.
Some extra time. Yeah. If you guys missed any part of the show, you guys can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you guys like what we do here and want to help support us, the best and number one way to do that is by telling your friends or retweeting us. That's the best way to help support the show. You guys can also leave a comment on the YouTube video. That actually helps us out quite a bit with the algorithm. And this week, our question of the week is, what game announcement got you excited from the Video Game Awards? Answer that in the comment section of YouTube, and that'll help us out quite a bit as well. Other than that, guys, anything else that we need to discuss, talk about?
No, sir.
I
Not
gotta
that I can think
pee.
of.
Okay, well, let's end it here, guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Stay healthy, stay safe, keep loving each other, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Kisses.